Hello, I am Vicente Sánchez Carreño. This is a presentation for our subject Advanced Practical English for our master degree in secondary education at Camilo José Cela University. The title of this presentation, as you see, is the energy transition from a different perspective, and is related with the end of fossil fuel era, as we know, and which alternative solutions we have nowadays. And also we will cover some advantages and some disadvantages that these alternatives offer. So yes, I think mostly this is it. I hope you will find this presentation useful, and let's go. So let me introduce you to the main 3 points of the presentation. The first one is the scarcity of oil. It's just a quick review of what is the meaning of this concept, why it is being produced in the most practical way. Then we will see in the second point which are the main consumers of oil nowadays. And in the third point, and the most important one, we are going to see the main alternatives that we have for replacing petrol, and which are, as I said, the main advantages and disadvantages of these solutions. So in this first point, let me introduce you to the term scarcity. Scarcity means that there is not too much quantity of something. In our case is oil. Oil is the same as petrol or petroleum. It's the most valuable natural resource that we have. It's limited. The fact is we are running out of fuel, and oil companies knows better than anyone this fact. I will show you in this graph. This graph shows the oil companies' investment in new oil exploitations. So we can see that in 2014 it reached its maximum, but after that it started to decrease dramatically. This is mainly because of high operative costs, and mainly because it's so hard to extract more and more oil from the earth. So this will lead us to a scenario that we can call the end of fossil fuel era. But wait, before offering any solutions to our huge problem, let's see which are the main consumers of oil nowadays. We can see that the main consumer is road transportation sector with a 47%. This includes light transportation like cars and heavy transportation like trucks and buses. Then we have with a 21% the petrochemical industry. This is a really hard to convert industry because directly use petrol to produce chemicals and plastics that are everywhere. So in the following part of the graph, we have the aviation, the maritime, and the industry, regular industry, that have all big machineries, really hard to convert, the airplanes, really hard to convert the big ships, as we know, and really hard to convert the machinery that, for example, is dedicated to the production of steel or to the production of concrete and so on. And in the end of the graphic, we have the agriculture and the construction and mining. That is the same case, are really big machines that mainly works with diesel, that is here. I offered you this image. It's a quick explanation of how fossil fuels are produced, starting from oil, from crude oil. And we can see here that depending on the boiling point of the product, we can obtain petrol gas, gasoline, naphtha, paraffin, diesel. And this one, the diesel, is the one that is more present in this part of the sector here, in the maritime, in the agriculture, and in construction mining. And these machines are really hard to convert. So in this presentation, I will cover just like the easy ones to convert, because I don't have too much time, and also because there are available commercial solutions available right now. So let's see some alternatives. For the light transport case that consumes the 26% of oil, I've selected the electric cars option. This basically uses the high voltage power grid of our society. That by means of some chargers, the batteries of our vehicles are charged, and in the end, these batteries power up the electric motors. So in terms of efficiency, this is the best option because the efficiency of electric motors goes up to 95%. Electricity can be originated by renewable sources, and no direct CO2 emissions are produced. That is good. About risks and downsides, we have like there is no infrastructure in the countries available, not enough, because we need it every day, especially at night, to charge our cars. So we need like parking lots and so on, but not everybody has one. And still, the prices of electric cars are high. So let's see the next solution. Moving to the heavy transport case with a consumption of 17% of oil, I've selected the hydrogen trucks as a solution that is available nowadays. Just a quick explanation of hydrogen fuel cells. It uses hydrogen in combination with oxygen and produces electric energy. So basically, these trucks are electric, but the batteries are hydrogen fuel cells. The only output is water that is not pollutant. So this is a solution that is expensive, but is possible. It is being used in Switzerland by Hyundai. The key points are hydrogen can be originated by renewable sources, has better power efficiency than internal combustion engines, and no direct CO2 emissions are produced in their usage. The risks on those sides is, as I mentioned, is the price and the existence of rare materials like platinum and so on that can be affected with some scarcity like oil. So talking about commercial aviation is a sector that is really hard to be replaced. The only solution nowadays it goes for sustainable aviation fuel. It's just a partial solution, as I will show you. It is produced by used cooking oil, household waste, and forestry waste. But this is just certificated to be blended up to 50% of the oil. So the production, the final fuel is not completely green, let's say, and also has some disadvantages because sustainable oil fuel also produce CO2 emissions, and in the end it's just a partial solution. Finally, in this presentation I'm covering also the agriculture machinery. Maybe could be also applied to some construction machinery that this sector consume the 3 to 4% of oil, and the solution that I've selected is biomethane. Biomethane is produced by organic waste by a process of anaerobic digestion, and since it produced by renewable sources like organic waste, it can be considered a renewable source, but it has the downside that it still has the CO2 emissions, and also the organic waste is limited, and it could represent a risk for our health. So yes. So finally, we have reached the end of the presentation. The idea is change is inevitable, but engineering and cooperation maybe are our key tools for solving this problem.